Today I am here to work on some limits questions. It's kind of preview, so I'm going to use so many things to solve these questions. So let's start with number one. So first, I didn't write it here. Limit x negative 1 over 1 negative square root of x as x approaches 1. So first of all, I wanted to try is just plug in this number into here. But in this case, you will have problem because if you plug in 1 into x, it's going to be something over 0. It's impossible in the mathematics, so it's not a good idea. So what would you do, especially when you have the squared root like here? If you have a squared root, you usually, like, it's almost, I think 90%, you multiply conjugate of it. Do you remember the conjugate? The conjugate of 1 negative square root of x is 1 plus square root of x. This is a conjugate. So let me multiply the conjugate of 1 negative square root of x, which is 1 plus square root of x. Yes, like this. Then let me calculate it. The bottom part is going to be 1 negative x negative 1 square 1, sorry, no. 1 plus square root of x. So it might look a little bit complicated, but these actually similar, isn't it? So let me put negative in front of it. And then let me change it like x negative 1. You can change this one into like this if you put negative here. Then now you can just cancel out here. Then which is going to be, I have a limit. Then it's going to limit 1 plus square root of x, negative. Then it's going to be really simple. It's going to be just negative 2. That's it. So like I said, if you find the root here, and like some number plus minus root, you usually multiply the conjugate of that. Okay. So for the next question, now you have the function here. So first of all, like I mentioned, you try to just plug in the number here, but it's going to be complicated. It's going to be like infinity over infinity. This cannot be calculated either. So what you try to do here, so if you have the function like the polynomial function, you try to factor it. That's what you have to do in the beginning. But actually you can factor the bottom part. It's going to be x negative 2 times x plus 1. But it seems like you can't factor it, the top part. So it's not a good idea. So what would you do? So in this case, you have the infinity here. So if you have infinity, you usually divide it by the highest degree term in the denominator, which is x squared. So let me divide it by x squared for both sides, top and bottom. It's going to be 2 plus 1 over x squared, 1 negative 1 over x, negative 2 over x squared. And then limit 6 approaches infinity. And as you know, limit when x approaches infinity 1 over x is going to be 0, because 1 over infinity is almost close to 0. So this one and this one and this one, these are getting close to 0, so you can just cancel it out. Then the leftover is 2 and 1, so the answer is going to be 2. Okay, then let's work on next question. This one is a bit tricky. Limit inverse tangent of x as x approaches infinity. So in this case, I highly recommend you to just sketch a graph first. Do you know the tangent graph? It's like this. Oops, not 4. Then pi over 4, then 1. It's like this. And you will remember what is the inverse graph? Inverse graph is technically you switch the value of x and y, because tangent negative invert x, let me put this one as y, this means tangent y equal x, like that. Okay, so for example, tangent pi over 4, which is 1, like this. So it's going to be completely opposite. So this point shifts like this. The value just turns around. Okay, so graph also, okay, like that. So if you just switch all x value and y value here, the graph is going to be like that. And this value is pi over 2, like you can see, like here and here. Okay, then let's back to this question. The limit, I mean x approaches infinity, so as x approaches infinity, the value, y value, is getting close to pi over 2. So the answer is, oops, inverse tangent of x is pi over 2. So like I mentioned in this question, it's really important to sketch the graph. If you can sketch the graph here, it's going to be important. And if you are not sure about how to sketch the inverse graph, I highly recommend you to just sketch the regular graph. I mean, in this case, y equal tangent x. Then you can just switch the x and y value of each point. Then you can just sketch the graph like that. Okay. Then last question today is here. Limit 4 times e to the power of x plus 3 over e to the power of x negative 2, and x approaches negative infinity. This might look a little bit complicated, but it's actually simple, because if you plug in negative infinity into x, it's going to be 1 over e to the power of infinity. You know, e is almost 2.71 something. So yeah, the 2.7 to the power of infinity is going to be infinity, so which is 1 over infinity. So it's really simple. You can just cancel it out. This one is going to be almost 0. So the answer is 0 plus 3 over 0 negative 2, which is negative 3 over 2. That's it.